Bridget Bartlett here. Today, I am super excited to tell you all about the new ISV for high level. Okay, so if you are like me, you're probably like, I don't even know what ISV is. Why is this even important? Why do we need to do this? Is this good for my agency? What if, right? So, what I have done is since they announced that the beta is being open now, I am super excited about this. I've been waiting for this for a long time because I don't know a lot about Twilio. And so I've not spent a lot of time focusing on regulations and all of those things. And I think a lot of people, if you're watching this, you're probably like me. Uh, I don't know really what am I doing things right? Am I doing things wrong? And then things are constantly changing. There's a lot to keep up with. And so what I have done in my agency is I have used my own Twilio account and then I have allowed my users to use their Twilio account, which works out good because, most of the people in my program, they want to create their own high level agency accounts. And so, and maybe they use different tools. And so it's really great to just have the one Twilio account where they can use all of the options, right? But there again, there's a lot of regulations and compliance and all kinds of things that you have to be aware of, okay? So, from a client perspective, it's not very cool because they don't have the time to keep up on all of it either. If me, the agency owner, is like saying, hey, I don't have really the time to, or the money to hire someone to be my compliance person, right? Or use all of their knowledge and experience to keep up to date with all these things. And so it's really great that high level is going to do this, but what does that mean and how does that work for our agencies, right? So Twilio, and this is not just Twilio either, just to be clear, this is a compliance thing, okay? So it's something in the United States that, they're just cracking down. They're making sure that basically you're not texting people who do not want to be texted, okay? So there are large fines involved in all of this. And so you can see why high level would want to get above, get ahead of this and create basically their own ISV, right? So what High Level has done is they have a master Twilio account and they are going to manage all of the compliance and all of that for us. Okay, now here's the super cool thing because I already want to know about cost, right? So it's not going to cost us anything. Okay. Now, as far as credits and things like that, I'm going to explain to you, really how it all works. But High Level has made a deal with Twilio, and again, I have researched and heard many conversations. So definitely, this is just what I'm hearing, and I've not seen documentation. So if you guys find it, definitely share with me. I'll be happy to forward it along. But as far as the actual credit prices, I'm not sure, but I do know that it's going to be at least the same price as Twilio or cheaper. Okay. Now, a little birdie did tell me that it's going to be cheaper, so there will be enough room for you as the agency owner to make a profit, basically, because you're going to charge the customer and then you're going to pay high level. Okay. So, hopefully you're understanding what I'm saying. I do want to say hello to Linwood and Ray. Thank you so much for joining me on YouTube. Before I get started, and I know Linwood, you're probably driving, so you can definitely go to the inside the dashboard, go to the high level updates, and you can see that I have a video here that Sean created about compliance and how high level is going to basically handle the service for you. And there's also some documentation we're going to go over, and then also the Twilio messaging policy that I was just showing you. Okay. So, what High Level is going to do is basically, and again, our agencies will be like a sub account within High Level's Twilio account. Okay. And what they're going to do, one of the services they're going to provide for us is they're going to do this ramp up model. Okay. And Sean goes more into the video about it. I just wanted to kind of give you a quick and dirty rundown so you can figure out if this is going to be a good solution. And before I even get started, you don't have to sign up for this, okay? If you're an agency owner, you're doing some complex things, you may want to just keep your own Twilio account, and that's awesome. But for people like me, I just don't want to, I don't want to have to worry about all those things. I love to outsource to people who are smarter than me, right? And so I would just rather HighLevel take on all of this. And then that way, my members, they don't have to worry about compliance and all that. And if I get a member who, decides to spam and things like that, then I am not, I don't have to rely on my own knowledge to be able to, deactivate that and then monitor that. And then, now they're charging me like lots of money. I've heard horror stories of, inexperienced marketers signing people up with their Twilio account and then someone coming in and spamming, not even intentionally, but hiking up a bunch of charges. And it's just really, it honestly, it made me afraid to do it. But HighLevel is going to do this. They're going to build in all of these safety components for us. They're going to make sure that we are compliant so that we don't get fined. And they're going to put in, like I said, all the safety stops. And the ramp up model is one of them. Okay, so it says once a new location signs up with us, we would only allow them to send out X messages on day one. So the limit would be multiplied each day by the number of days the location has spent with us. So X is configured value that can be updated anytime the initial value of X will be the same for all locations. So to put that plainly, on day one, if you get a client that comes in and they try to send 20,000 text messages on day one, it's not going to happen. Okay, they're only going to allow 250 texts to be sent on day one. Then on day two, they're going to allow 500 texts. Okay, and then 750 texts. Okay. Now, that's really important because, we all think it's so easy, especially with this new system we have. It's so easy to get leads and phone numbers, and you could just click the button and send a whole campaign to all of these people. But there are consequences to that. One of the reasons I have kind of stayed away from cold marketing is because of all the compliance and, there's strategy and there's things that you need to know to make this profitable. Okay. And of course, this is what we're diving into, right? So we need to learn. I mean, content marketing is awesome, but there are some people who do love cold marketing. And since we have this awesome tool to be able to do that, I think it's important for us to really talk about compliance and some really good strategies, okay? Now, the next thing here that the ISV model is going to do for us is they're actually going to put like a little link at the bottom of the first text that we send, okay? So it's going to give them the ability to opt out. Okay, so it's going to say reply stop to unsubscribe. Now, if you're an experienced high-level agency owner, you probably do that anyway, and it's no big deal. But if you're brand new coming in, you may not have even thought about that. And so HighLevel is going to put that in there to make sure that, again, we are remaining compliant, and we don't need to worry about that either, right? They're going to do all of that for us. The next thing is the codes. Okay, so it says enable permanent or temp D&D based on error codes. Okay, so again, that's one of those things. It's like if you're getting an error code through Twilio, and instead of investigating and going in and having to make sure that you mark them D&D and all of those things, HighLevel is going to do that for us. Okay. Then also let me remember what this was. Oh, the bring in error and opt out rate handling. Okay, so there's definitely, these are some technical things. I just wanted to really touch on, some of the reasons why HighLevel is doing this for us. Okay, so I'm sure, if you're like me, you're like, yes, I'm already sold. How do I sign up? So first of all, you can go to, if you are a member, you can go to our Noisy Network here in the Resources tab, and you can click on the HighLevel updates, and you'll see the video and the documents that I'm talking about, okay, if you missed that. Okay, so the Twilio ISV. Okay, I explained to you how, and HighLevel gives this document. Okay, and I think in most of the places I put it in the link of the description. Okay, so if you are an agency owner, the first thing you need to do to sign up to the ISV is you need to get beta access. Okay, so you're going to click here, and then you're just going to fill out this form, and then you're going to get an email, and they'll say, hey, we've given you beta access. Now you need to convert your agency to the ISV ISV. So if I click here, you'll see that when you're logged into your agency dashboard, you need to go to the settings tabs, and then you're going to go to the Twilio section. Okay, yours may look different because we can all configure our agencies a little differently, but you can see you just need to go to the settings and then Twilio. Okay, now right now most of us have the our Twilio information here. Okay, and then currently what happens is when a sub account or we create accounts for users in our agency, we can allow them to automatically, it'll create a sub account, and then they will be using our Twilio account, and then we can manage all of that. Okay, so I'm sure, again, let me drive home the fact that if you're concerned about compliance and all of these things, you start to get, 150, 200 clients, it gets to be really scary, okay, unless you are very familiar with the compliance and all that. So all you have to do once you have access is, or once you receive that email, is that you'll see if you go to this section, switch to LeadConnector phone system. Okay, so it's actually really, really simple. All right, now I will say that you do not have to switch all of your agency over once you do this. Okay, you just switch your main agency, and then what you want to do is go to each account that you want to switch, if you want to switch them at all. They could, if they're already on their Twilio account, you may just want to leave them on Twilio, and that's totally fine. Okay, like I know for my members, I'm not going to make them switch. I mean, if they're already on Twilio, then great, they can continue using it. I don't want to disrupt anything that they're doing. But the new members coming in, they will be on the ISV system. And then that way we don't have to go through the extra step of them creating a Twilio account, them having to worry about compliance and all of that. We're going to do that for them, right? Just as we are excited that HighLevel is going to do that for us, we're going to forward that on to our clients, okay? So when you click that button there, you're going to see this little window pop up. Now, this tells you right here that your existing clients will be unaffected, okay? You can move them to LeadConnector phone service later if you wish to, okay? It will be unaffected, I'm sorry. They will be unaffected, all right? Your new clients from this point on will move to the LeadConnector phone service, okay? So when you do the switch, and this is what I was worried about too, when you do the switch, it's not going to affect any of your clients or members or even your own personal sub account. It's only going to change how the agency handles the phone numbers from this point on. Okay, so definitely, if you want to check it out, what I did is I actually I did the switch, and then I created a SaaS account, because in my agency I'm not even using the SaaS. The only reason I have the SaaS plan up to this point was because I was using the API to allow the automated account creation. Okay. So this definitely will make it easier to do the SaaS. Okay, so you're going to click the button, and you're going to change the agency from Twilio to LeadConnector. Okay, so once you do that, and let me stay with their instructions here, because I want to make sure that I'm telling you all the right things. So you're moving the existing clients over. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to go to your settings, and you're going to go to Twilio again, and you'll see once you do that it says switch to LeadConnector. All right, now when you see that, that means that your agency now is switched to LeadConnector, but these locations are still using Twilio. Okay, so when you click that button, what's going to happen is you're going to see this little window pop up. All right, now it's going to tell you the exact instructions of what to do, because you need to email Twilio support. And actually, the new updated version of this, it's literally so simple. It says, this is I think like an older image or something, but the new version, when this window pops up, it says send to this email, and then there's a little thing that says that you can copy, and you literally go to your email and make sure that you're sending your email to Twilio support from the email address that your HighLevel account was created. Okay, that's really important. So if you use, a Gmail, whatever you're using, whatever you log into the gohighlevel.com account or the app.gohighlevel.com, you want to make sure that you're sending this email from that email address. Okay. And then you just want to copy. You don't need to worry about changing out numbers. You don't have to do anything. You're just copying exactly what that email says, and then you're sending it from your HighLevel email account. Okay. Now, once you've done that, you can check this box here, and then you're going to hit close. Okay. So that's all you really need to do. Just make sure that you copy those email instructions perfectly. Okay. Now, this says the email ID you use to send this email must belong to an admin in your Twilio account. Okay, so that's interesting because I just got mine changed and it wasn't an admin in my Twilio account. Interesting. Just further instructions here, which is exactly what I just told you. Okay. So it says you do not need to add migration LeadConnector in CC. Twilio might deny. Okay. Just follow the instructions that it shows when it pops up because it's better than it is written here. Okay. So once you submit that, once you send the email, okay, then it's going to take 3 to 4 business days to process the request. Okay. So you're going to get an email like right away, and it's going to say, hey, thanks, we received your request. And then you're going to receive another email to let you know, okay, we have from HighLevel, and they'll say, okay, we have accepted. And then now you just have to wait. Okay. So you're just waiting the 3 or 4 days. However, I'm just telling you that it didn't take very long. The important thing to know is that it literally took like maybe an hour for me, but there is nothing that's going to change. Okay. There's no disruption in the service at all. So if you need to switch over clients or whatever, it's going to still be the Twilio account until you switch it. Okay. And then when you do that, you'll see where inside the Twilio settings, it'll have their location name, and then the account SID will be, grayed out because it's now HighLevel's Twilio account, and then it'll say managed by LeadConnector phone system. Okay, so that the clients will see LeadConnector phone system. They're not going to see HighLevel. They're not going to see Twilio. They're going to see the LeadConnector phone system. Okay. Now, once you do that, once you have, created that inside, or you've changed your agency over, okay, what the client is going to see, or what you're going to see in their account, is it's going to say, until it's ready, it's going to say that you have not completed your A2P registration. Okay. So what's going to happen is they're going to fix all of that, and then it'll tell you that it's ready. Okay. I wonder if I can get, let me pull this over to the side. I'm going to see if I can get a test account that I was working in, and then I can show you. I just don't want to expose everything here. I want you to see what that actually looks like. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm going to go to the settings here and phone numbers. Okay, so once it is ready, right, it's going to say that you are A2P 10 DLC compliant. Okay, so now, it's just as easy to add a phone number if I wanted to add a number now, because now that I have this and it says I'm ready, right, I can choose my number. So if I chose like 206 area code and I searched, then I'm going to choose the number. Now, when we're talking about like credits and things like that, okay, this is where I am unclear on the actual cost, because I know that it's a little birdie told me that it's going to be cheaper than the actual cost. Another person told me that they purchased a phone number and it only charged the client 50 cents. And so these are the things that I want to know, because if you're a SaaS agency owner, this is what you get the ability to rebill for those credits. Okay. Now it makes perfect sense that if HighLevel is charging a below Twilio price, you would at least want to charge what Twilio is charging, not just to make a profit, but also because you have to think about what are the costs involved in this, right? So if HighLevel, let's say that they charged us a penny. Obviously it's a way different than that, but for the sake of live math, we'll make it simple. So let's say HighLevel charged us a penny, okay? And then we want to charge our customer that same penny. Well, when the customer uses that penny or that text, right, then it's going to go through our processing system like Stripe, and then Stripe is going to charge us like 3%. And then now what happens is if it's one for one, right now we're actually going into debt because we are now every single time someone sends a text for that one penny, we are actually paying Stripe, like 3% for that, right? So we need to make sure that, and this is why I was obsessively digging about the costs, because we need to know those costs so that we know what our costs are going to be so that we can mark it up if we're rebilling. Okay. Rebilling, that's an excellent way to get a profit, especially if it is comparable to Twilio. But the bonus is, even if we marked it up and it was a little bit higher than Twilio, still the management of the whole compliance and all of those things, the management of the system is well worth 3 times what an actual text costs. Okay. Now, if you want to know your costs, you can actually just move this thing around here. So if it was just straight costs and we had 1%, okay, this tells us here telephony charges 13 cents. Okay. Now, this, if you look at this here, it says one segment is equal to an SMS of 160 characters. Click on the icon to know more about the details and pricing. So I think this is the price, but I would need to find exact pricing from Twilio as well. And then I'm for some reason, I just want to verify this before I go ahead and say this is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. So if we have 1.05%, all right. So this is what it's saying that Twilio or telephony is charging. And then we're charging the customer this because we're marking it up 0.05%. And then this gives us a little guide, right? So if a customer is using $10, they're going to get 735 phone calls. They're going to get 1,125 calls they'll be able to receive, and they'll be able to send 1,265 segments, okay? So let's move this up here, and let's say that we want to mark it up 3%. Now you can see here, this is what the charge is. This is what it is to receive phone calls. This is what it is to send text messages. So then, of course, you would want to put in your terms that this is what you're going to charge per text message or whatever, right? Now, the bonus of that too is when you're marking this up, there's a lot more of value, right? So if I'm marking it up 3 times what it actually is, and I'm telling you, hey, you're going to get $20 in credits for texting as a part of your subscription every month, well, it's $20 to you or to the client, right? But to us, it's really only $6.90, whatever, 1/3 of $20 is, right? So where actually the client sees more perceived value than what it's actually costing us, okay? Which, those complimentary credits are really great because they can send text messages and things like that without really, adding additional money. And then when you're looking at the plans too, us as consumers, we look at the plan and we're like, okay, they're going to give us $20 in complimentary credits. So really, it's not $147 a month. It's actually $127. And then I'm going to get those credits. But then the flip side of that also is that when you're lumping together those credits into your membership, let's say the membership is $147, there's no complimentary credits, and then the client actually uses $800 a month in charges, well, they're going to, if now your business is charging $947 a month instead of $147, and Twilio is charging $800 a month, right? So you also have to consider, what is that value? Are they going to cancel you and say, wow, you're charging me, this is way too much money that I'm spending with you per month? Or is it better to have it, separated? So again, that's your call. It's not my job to make business decisions for you. It is just my job to share what I know so that you can have all the information and make the best decision for you. Okay, so again, you can check out that high level updates channel in the Noisy Network. This is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I have really big announcements for you on Friday, which is our Friday Q&A. So again, we'll be live wherever you're watching Friday tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, go make your vision a reality. Bye.